Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that clean feed comes back. It is working. Just refuses to come back right now. Bum, ba, dum. Alrighty, so that's working. Man, my throat is not completely cleared, but I am getting better. Oh, on our second day of the knockout phase, we have two battles for tonight. We have DQS versus MGK, followed by MTA versus Ace. I think DQS is nuclear power, following MGK being MugoonKingdom, MTA being Avengers, and Ace being Hellfire. Excellent, excellent names, I would say. But nonetheless, I hope these teams will play hard. It does look like we're going to see a lot of Hidden City tonight, so that is particularly interesting. Mostly because you don't really get to see the Hidden City in the main stage tournament. We did get to see a lot of what your face calls it, um, the Wall Fort. Wall Fort has classically been the map of choice for a lot of people, in fact. But now, here we are. Well, we're just waiting for the battles to start. Maybe grab some water while I'm at it. Oh, oh, right. I have got to fix that thing as well. Again! What is this? Mr. Cameraman, can you please turn that off? really great if you did. You guys probably can't hear it, actually. Can't actually hear what they're saying. That's because I'm using on the clean feed, but maybe I'll go to the actual thing and listen to what they're saying. Would be fun that way as well. Who is playing tonight? So yeah, the two teams that the four teams that are going to be playing. So first up, we have DQS versus MGK. So I'm pretty sure DQS is Nuclear Power and MGK is MugoonKingdom. Following that, we have MTA, otherwise known as Avenger, versus Ace, which is called Hellfire. So those are the four teams we'll be getting to see tonight, and they're all going to be on Hidden City. Very interesting that they chose Hidden City for this. So we're going to have to wait and see what is in store. Hello? Yes, please. Yes. Okay, bye. Hi, Kira. I'll see you soon, Kira. Hi, Kira. Hello. Well, this is actually blowing up my ear. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi. Bye. 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 Aren't children cute? All right.
Those teams can bring us things.
This
like
might be
that.
out of sync
Yeah,
because
really
I've actually
fancy.
turned on the sound.
And the
Which side?
second match today is gonna be MTA versus Ace. ACE. Yeah. The B2 versus Stage 3. Yeah. So and yeah, those two teams.
Pretty tense.
So they just went over the matches.
I think I will leave this part.
Yeah, later of the tonight.
Yeah. So
Otherwise,
I
nuclear
think
power
now
versus
both two
whatnot.
teams are pretty ready,
Versus
and
MGK,
I think we are
MGK,
soon jumping
MugoonKingdom.
to the
Then we have Avengers versus
battle very
Hellfire.
quick.
So yeah, we got
So
those
yeah,
battles
and
gonna
also
go.
today we just like released an announcement about our like the new customer service in the game. Yeah,
in game.
in the game.
You can,
We should emphasize
just
that.
Yeah,
press
interesting
yes,
customer
see,
service,
and you can
in-game
find
customer
the
service.
menu that you can, upload and give us the feedback on all your requests, and
Yeah.
we have a team that especially will work for your problems. So guys, please stay tuned and maybe check the feature,
Yeah.
and also give us the feedback or maybe your advice on DC about this
Yeah.
customer service.
Yeah, we've already opened a specific channel for
Yeah.
the customer service system in the game. You can send all of your suggestions and
Yeah.
tell about how you feel about that. In that channel, that is super important for us.
Yeah.
And that channel, because like several minutes ago, like some players asked on that channel like if the suggestion channel is equal to this channel.
That quick guy.
No, this
So
the
the
support
in-game
customer service channel is
service menu.
specific for the new system
Encounter a
in the game
problem,
for the customer
and then you'll
service,
get
and the
sent
suggestion
to a
channel is still
weird
for
out
your
thing.
suggestion about the game.
So they have a new
gameplay,
ticket
about
system,
everything,
apparently.
except
In-game ticket
the
system.
new
Is that
customer
even,
service channel, the service
old one?
system in the game. So guys, you can check that after the maintenance tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's more convenient.
Yeah, it's more
Players
convenient.
can also post their suggestions in game
Yeah,
through this feature.
yeah, you no longer like
Yeah,
need
find
to,
the
like,
email.
send the email to us,
Yeah.
and we just cannot like reply to you
Yeah,
like
and then
in
you
time.
can also check down the things that you request. So it's really convenient,
Yeah.
and help us to serve you guys better.
Yeah. Now the game is about to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's jump into the game one.
Yeah.
DQS versus MGK here.
And I think the map will be the hidden city.
Yeah. Oh, the map will be the hidden city. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's new. Okay, hidden city CBL. DQS versus
All right.
MGK this time.
So
The DQS will.
let's put that quiet down. Project about. Nope. I wanted to project its source. Should have put that up earlier, but. Wow. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Hi, Mezume. We do have CBL tonight, so that's why I'm here. Woo-wee. Let me have a look at the unit composition. All right. Been waiting a while, about 13 minutes, so these guys do seem to want to start pretty late in the game. We go attacking first. We got DQS, otherwise nuclear power. Interesting setup here. We've got 6 berserkers, lots of Fenris. That's a lot of Fenris. Fenris, I was actually talking about this on the Brothers Grimm's channel. Fenris pack has been double nerfed. They're not as strong as they're not as strong as they used to be, and they're not as strong as they were before what they used to be. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting that these guys would bring it along. Maybe they know something I don't. But other than that, Imperial Pikemen out the West Zoo. We do have an ISG here. Imperial Spearguard coming out for MugoonKingdom. We still got that nice triple claymores. Let's see if they're going to use those claymores to great effect yet again. MugoonKingdom has shown up that claymores can really hit above their weight and really fight back. And I am just seeing this right now. How many muskets do you see? We see a lot. That's more than half the defending team are muskets right now. But that's also said for nuclear power, going in with tons of short swords right now. So I'm not in observer mode. So whatever the cameraman's got to do. So let's see what the cameraman. Looking at some important things. Does look like DQS only has 3 ranged units. That'd be 1 Metallitor, 2 Shenji Grenadiers. On the opposite side, we have the defenders coming in with 2 Metallitors, 1 Shenji Grenadier, and one Bastion Wildflame. Wildflame being the Wallsex tier 3. Very interesting. That is for sure. Claymores are a very good unit if they're not getting CC'd when using skills. Again, anything that gets CC'd while they're trying to do something just sucks. But you also have to just put it down that impact of the Claymores, their skills are good. They're not terrible. Getting CC'd is a natural part of the game. There's a lot of CC in this game. A lot of tier 5 units, that's why tier 5 units are so good, is because they have massive CC resistance or completely ignore it. We got the Iron Reapers, for example, completely resistant or completely, basically they can't get dazed. They are completely CC immunity when using their skills, when they're charging, and when they use their Tiger's Guile. 12 seconds on the Tiger's Guile, in fact. On some other scales, we have the Medals, which have a animation which makes them basically CC immune. So when they're doing their Medal Battalion move, they are basically CC. They're CC resistance. They don't get dazed while they do that, but after the animation ends, they'll be CCable. So I do think the Medals have some resistance to daze when they're using their skills. Lethal March is also one where it's questionable whether or not they're dazeable then. CC does work against them in Lethal March, but it's hard to tell. Royal Janissaries and the last of, I would quote, the meta tier 5s. Realistically, every 3 hits they take, the next attack will be CC immune, so they can be pretty difficult to deal with, that's for sure. So we got a lot of trebs coming through. Hidden City, so it's fascinating to think that we're not getting another wall fort. Probably not very much practice compared to what we previously had. Hidden City, we got DQS actually just going straight through the front gate now with the Fenris pack. Could be seeing an... Oh, the wolf pack is definitely going to just eat through whatever's at the main gate. Does look like a Medal. It's just going to disappear. That many wolves on top of that Medal just makes it disappear. Range attacks will not do very much damage, as while they're using Wolf Sprint, they are quite resistant to range attacks. So, we got some Iron Reapers here. Absolutely slaughtered the Wolf Packs. That's very unfortunate there. Not very sure what they were planning to do. As you can see, the pile of dead bodies right around that corner can't really get by the fact that tier 5 units, well, Iron Reapers in fact, just absolutely a slaughter and definitely a difficult unit to face against. For one, each of the sword attacks causes a daze, and if they go with flail, middle line flail of course, they will cause a knockdown. So definitely a terrifying unit to face. Iron Reapers output a lot of CC while not taking very much themselves. They've, I think Iron Reapers in the current state are quite overtuned. They're very difficult and and basically disengage from a lot of other infantry. So, but that does, but they're kind of in the place where they need to be, being completely uncontested in the infantry zone. In fact, I think Royal Janissaries only barely beat them out, mainly because of numbers, and they're actually slightly tankier. Only slightly. The conditions, you gotta meet some conditions for the Royal Janissaries to be tankier. But DQS is surprisingly stacking the front gate here, looking for another front gate push after the failure that is the Wolfpack. I think the Wolfpack should have just accepted the free Medal they ate and just backed off. But getting killed there, I think the Wolfpacks were very unfortunate. Not pushing the right-hand siege tower, still pushing the left-hand siege tower. We got the middle siege tower up. Middle siege tower is not really the best siege tower to go up. I really call it the death sentence. Going up the middle siege tower, if the defenders choose to defend it, you basically die. Massive climb now on the right side wall. Very thin for the defenders. I would start pushing that right-hand siege tower. Be very good. Be a very good location. So what's interesting here is that there was a couple of artillery being built, so I'm not sure what they plan to do there. DQS's move is a little bit unorthodox, but we're locking down to 5 minutes 30 seconds shortly. So we still got the trebs available. Got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa! Danger close. 4 trebs. Interesting. Oh, nope, 2 more. So, can't remember how many trebs are on this map, so it should be around about 8. So maybe they destroyed 2. So they're going to take this fight here. Whoa! That shield in the backline getting absolutely devastated there, but the piles and piles versus each other right now. I'm not sure who's winning, but it does look like those shields are out in front. Oh, but the shields just broke down just there, and all of a sudden the tidal wave victory in for DQS. DQS is pushing through, but again, the shield line blocks them off. Surprisingly, that Treb was probably mistimed, coming in very late here, pushing forward. Oh, well, I mean, I think that Treb was ill-conceived. Definitely hit their own guys there. Not very many left for the defenders. The defenders losing out some very important units here. We got the Falconetti Gunners going down, or the Metallators. I'm not sure which name to call them now. The confusion for the English names have been growing ever so more. Boom! We got the Shenji Grenadiers just blast another hero into oblivion. DQS is playing a dangerous game here. Surprisingly, those Shenji Grenadiers do not die and instead shot the poleaxe with him. But that pike definitely wants to kill that unit. You're going to have to make it a desperate fight here. DQS is running out of time, and they can't afford a full reset. A full reset would mean that the defenders just win outright. Lots of losses, indeed. Lots of trebs as well. Got to get up that ladder. Got to get up that siege tower, even if it means death. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Only 10 players. Got to keep the security on that siege tower open, so you're going to get squeezed in about, I would say, 20 seconds. So we got a bunch of medals. We got the Imperial Pike. Imperial Pike bottom line, in fact, so it's a bit tankier. Top line should be the more preferable of the two. Unfortunately, we have the Berserkers actually break that medal, followed by a Imperial Pike Walk. The Imperial Pike Walk doing massive for the defenders here. The defenders definitely holding strong as the Imperial Pike March coming out from the attackers themselves. The pinch is coming, though. Another Imperial Pike Walk could definitely send this entire attacking force packing. We got more Royal Janissaries being pushed towards the front. Another Treb is going to come through, but I do not think it's going to make much of a difference. Look how many Royal Janissaries are up onto this wall right here. They're going to end it. MugoonKingdom definitely going to end it here on the wall, getting squeezed hard. The Royal Janissary pile is unmatched as it just cleave right through the serfs and the medals alike. More village watchmen are being pushed through, but the Royal Janissaries just keep on cutting down everything in his path. DQS definitely does not look like they have a chance in hell now. That's unfortunate indeed. The pushes was going okay at the start. Reinforcements was really slow though for the attackers. MugoonKingdom definitely coming out really big on a lot of the battles. Did not get to see if the claymores really did work there, but my goodness, look at that. Plenty of unit deaths here. That's got to be unfortunate. Not very many lives left for the attackers here. MugoonKingdom is down to, is probably down lives as well. But I would say MugoonKingdom is probably very comfortable in terms of resources. Got some cataphracts down on the ground here. Could suppress the supply point, but I'll be honest, with all of that Royal Janissary up on the wall, I don't think they need to go down just yet, because less than a minute to go. Well, almost a minute to go. We've got the tidal wave of units gonna come, but you need to get to that point in less than a minute, 40 seconds even. You gotta get to that point, kill off all of the defenders, and you're not going to do that very well with units that deal basically no damage, and they can't take it either. Medal just cuts that village watchman into pieces. but other units are being shoved right in. Royal Janissary is taking the lead right now. We also have the Bastion Wildflame being chucking over those ball sacks, really effective against low quality units without the fire resistance. And the third and last time pushed by DQS just gets absolutely slaughtered. DQS is getting pushed right out here. I was surprised by how many muskets there were at the beginning, but now they've swapped over to their pikes. So the muskets were an interesting pick. I think the muskets really slowed them down on occasions, but the switch to the pike was probably faster than I thought it would be. I thought there would be more skirmishing and definitely more usage of the muskets, but definitely does not look like that was so. Major battles aside, I do think DQS preparations were a little bit lacking. They had a good plan. The Wolfpack plan also worked out. They killed a Medal. They didn't give themselves enough time to reset for skill abilities, and they could not contend with the Iron Reaper. I think if they decided to, instead of just bypassing straight to the supply point and face the Iron Reapers, killing off the Iron Reapers could have been a massive, massive, massive pickup. I would trade 2 Venomous Pack for 1 tier 5 any day, but you traded around about 4 Venomous Pack for only 1 tier 5, so bad exchanges in the end. We also get a look at some of the scores. As you can tell, DQS did die out a lot, and I mean a lot here. We still got 2 guys going up with around about 800 unit kill score here, so that's pretty good. But on average, a lot of them ranking about lower, actually only around the 400 mark. Really cannot perform in that scenario. I would say a good effort from DQS, but it's not. But I'd also have to say that MugoonKingdom definitely no, there were no gaps I could obviously see. They were rotating quite sufficiently, at least sufficiently enough to deal with whatever DQS was doing. The options were limited, I believe. Needed to get those siege towers up. Needed to formulate a better plan from DQS. So DQS, I gotta hand it to you that you did win at the start of your major push when you did the right-hand climb, but you're coming up short with reinforcements, no way to resupply your units, and when you come down to attrition, defenders always have an advantage in that scenario. Trebs, unfortunately, didn't work out very well for you. I think you trapped yourselves at one point. Also, I do think the Claymores and the Shields, although it was hard to see, I do think they did create a lot of value for MugoonKingdom. I think the Berserkers did not... I think the Berserkers in DQS's case didn't actually create very much value, but I do think from MugoonKingdom's side, I did see a Berserker take out half a Medal, which was pretty crucial in the squeeze in the second last push. But nonetheless, that is very unfortunate for DQS. DQS are going to be a defending next, so we're going to see Mugoon attack shortly. So I'm going to grab some water in the meantime as this next battle starts up very soonish.
That's like in the middle of the game, lost so many players on the heroes on the wall.
Yeah, they're just overviewing what happened before. Definitely a lot of losses, but I think I'm not sure what I was seeing there. The hero battles were not very watched. I couldn't concentrate on the hero battles, mostly just watching most of the units. Unit superiority. I'm not sure exactly when it started to turn, when it started to favor the defenders massively, but I think it was mostly just because the general battles just ended up just being in favor of Mugoon Kingdom. Oh man.
I know some teams like
Yep,
they needed some
yep.
they needed some like warm up things. So for first the game they might be cannot like perform as the best that they are.
Yeah.
So they just need to like some.
Yeah,
Like,
Brad,
warm
I
up,
think
yeah.
you are just too kind. Like the day one, you said the same
Warm-up
thing
game.
to
Yeah.
cheer
That's
up
interesting, the way of putting it.
maybe the loser of the
Yeah.
first round. But yeah, we were looking forward to for them to totally win back because audience and also us really want to see this kind of things to happen.
Yeah, we want game 3.
Yeah.
I want the game 3 so desperately. Yeah.
Yeah, just to see the totally win over.
Cause like I love like the field battles. Cause like the field battles for me like there's
It's more straightforward.
it's very straightforward and for me it's no strategic things. Yeah, just like go for killing your enemies and
Yeah, move to
let do
points,
things in a very
points.
straight way.
You haven't
straight
seen
up,
very many
yeah.
field battles
So,
then.
Okay, the
I
second
mean,
round.
It's
killing your
about to
enemies in
start,
field
yeah,
battle
still
does
on
work,
Hidden City. And
but
this time switch
where
sides,
you fight is
MGK
important.
be the
Forcing the
attacker,
enemy to fight and
DQS be
to
the
fight on your terms is very important on field battles. But enough to talk about field battles right now. We're looking at the attack on Hidden City for MGK. So, MGK going out with Berserkers again, dropping the Claymores in its entirety. I feel a little bit upset. We've got, interestingly, a Namcan pick. I'm not entirely sure if that is the Namcan pick, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Namcan. Really can't hit above their, tier 5 archers really can't hit above their weight besides Namcan. Also, Rattan Vipers look different. We've got 2 Bastion Wild Flames, 1 Imperial Spear Guard. Imperial Spear Guard could definitely come up huge. Do you think it's because of the cheaper price at only being 220? DQS also choosing that Imperial Spear Guard. Interesting to see that only 2 Cataphracts and 2 Tundra humans coming up from MGK, but we have 3 Cataphracts, 1 Keshik, and 1 Tundra human out for DQS. So DQS on 2 Tundra humans actually. So DQS is going to come in a little bit harder on the ground. So I do think if they commit here on the wall, it might be a little bit. It's going to be a bit terrible for DQS. MJ, lots of muskets coming around again. So we got around about 7 muskets this time. For the defenders is DQS this time. So it's gonna be very, very strange how they play this out. Cavalry superiority does go for DQS right now, so DQS could definitely give MugoonKingdom a hard time at the B point. The number of medals is still pretty high, though. We've got about 8 medals coming out from MGK, so really need to just trade a medal for a cavalry at this point. So that would be really great. MugoonKingdom pushing all the siege towers, so that is good. I'm wondering whether or not DQS will take out the siege towers with culverins. Doesn't look like any being built so far. Just using the naturals so far. MugoonKingdom not taking out any of the front ones so far. Not even a Treb. Normally we see a Treb on the right hand side one at the very least. We got a mortar being built. Some mortars being built here on the left hand side actually. Metallitor's firing on that left hand siege tower, so I'm not sure if it's going to go down. We do have a Treb on the back side, probably one of the culverins. Be very good value. Again, I think a Treb for a artillery is good value. One artillery less for the defenders means that you're one up on your one further up. You have 30 artilleries, 15 Trebs. The defenders only have 15 artilleries, and that's one of their major resources, so they need to get everything out of that as much as possible. Otherwise, you just end up in scenarios where the attackers just have tons and tons of artillery to just throw at you. So if you take out one artillery to every one of your Trebs historically have on siege battles have been very limited usage past the wall. I do not think there's very many maps that would favor Trebs coming in once you're off the A point. Well, I mean, there's the B point on Sun City, but that's a bit different. It's still on the wall. We got the right-hand siege tower up on the wall. The left and the middle siege tower did go down, so they will focus on destroying the left and the middle. The right-hand siege tower is actually okay to go up because even though they have a supply point there on the right-hand side, the defenders will have a natural disposition to stay on the left-hand side, as I've seen with many of these maps. As I've seen it many a times here on Hidden City. Hidden City, it's fascinatingly enough, not a map that I'd see a lot in CBL, but this season has been the most I've seen Hidden City, almost to the point it bores me, but nonetheless, we'll still get to see some interesting things. I think the mix-up for Wolfort for last time was pretty big. MugoonKingdom taking this approach fairly slowly, but they haven't wasted very much time. We still got one siege tower up on the wall for now. The left and the middle siege tower are dangerously close to dying, so it could sacrifice a little bit more culverins to destroy them. 2 shots for the middle siege tower, 3 shots for the left-hand siege tower. I do think the left-hand siege tower is about to make it. No way to cut it off, but those Falconettis, that's unfortunate. But the middle siege tower does go down. DQS could see a massive retreat here. I know, honestly, I would, getting in a scenario where more than one siege tower is up on the wall, you'd really be hard pressed to find a good fight. So DQS does do a maximum retreat, every single one going down off the wall. MugoonKingdom probably going to take the left-hand siege tower. The remainder will probably take the right-hand side. And it does look like some random units are, on the map, that does look like some random units have been let go. I'm not sure what they are. Now we're heading on to the second phase. So A has been given up. So DQS is going to have to survive the next few minutes because MugoonKingdom probably has a lot of resources to chuck at them. One of the most terrifying things is getting shot by ballistas. Not very many things can survive a ballista shot. Berserkers, Bedau, Embrace, the Royal Janissaries. Surprisingly, not the Iron Reapers. Iron Reapers will die. So you got all of those. You don't have very many units that would survive a ballista shot, and ballistas will be much more effective than anything else to bring out. Although, if you hit the same unit with 3 mortars, it's gonna die. I think the difficult part here is knowing which approach they will take. You're spreading yourself a little thin here across the board. MugoonKingdom is going down there on the right-hand side. Classically, the right-hand side has been given for free. And it does look like a repeat yet again. So, MugoonKingdom surprisingly did not go into a mortaring phase. We're going to get a little bit of deathmatch here as the heroes versus heroes. MugoonKingdom trying to take this point, does back off when they see some units rock up, does kill a poleaxe that got caught out of position. Oh no, Iron Reapers also walked out of position, gonna go retreat out of there. MugoonKingdom taking a little look-see, not using any of their artillery, which is very strange for me. I think that Treb was very unfortunate. I think he was trying to shoot the guys at the back there, but accidentally hit the thing there. Oh no, the left-hand siege tower, the left-hand supply point are completely open, so they walked just straight onto it. DQS not reacting just yet. They're holding their position, probably because they're trying to protect their backsides here. This is going to be scary. You got point blank at the enemy, and you've already taken a big hit here. Berserkers, Royal Janissaries in the mix here at the front. I think the Imperial Spear Guard is holding just long enough for the tidal wave to come through. Medal's at the back here. We got grave shots being used, but a Falconetti straight into that will definitely curb stomp it into oblivion. DQS could turn this into a tidal wave victory. Those water brushers definitely need to be careful. We got a center of Iron Reapers there. Not the best unit to ignore, but I think pushing down onto that supply point is a gamble, as units have been switched out, and it's a massive switch out indeed. But DQS, I think, is losing out here. We got more heroes on that supply point, which is a danger. Not going full force either. DQS really needs to reestablish the line. Could come in from behind with Tundra Humans, take out the Namcans, but there is a Medal on point, so that's going to be unfortunate. Only a Pike stalling for now on the B point, barely even. Medals do take a swipe at those passing cavalry, so a lot of Pikes around. Cavalry is not going to be very much use here. DQS is losing units, and they're throwing in more units as we speak. So an Imperial Pike walk onto this pile could be massive. Could have been a massive combination with the Tundra Humans and Imperial Pike Walk, but unfortunately Imperial Pike Walk coming in a bit late. They will cause a chain reaction for that. Does take out the Medals and stuff, but here comes a charge from Cataphrax from MugoonKingdom. MugoonKingdom just sweeps right through that Medal and Imperial Pikeman combo. MugoonKingdom actually takes out 3 more heroes, down to 6 heroes. DQS defenses are absolutely collapsing. Again, it's just not the good time to continue to fight in the street. And thank you for the raid, the Brothers Grimm. I hope you had a awesome stream. But we're here on the second battle of DQS versus MGK. MGK is slaughtering the defenders right now as they keep throwing in units one after another. Really need to reestablish the line here. Losing that left-hand supply point was critical. We got some Tundra Humans just sweep right through some Village Watchmen. Some Venrus Pack trying to get away. But the Tundra Humans does seem to have not been able to catch up, very surprisingly. Does kill off 3, actually. So, that's right. MugoonKingdom definitely take a super risky move. I think DQS was really slow to react there. But the ongoing battle did turn out to be a massive detriment. So, MugoonKingdom also has a lot of artillery still stored up in its bank. We've also got availability of Trebs now. Trebs in the back section here is effective. Not as effective during the B section, but here at the base point, we can get some nasty Trebs in. We got the Tundra Humans and Cataphrax. Cataphrax could lead the charge, followed by the Tundra Humans to do a cleanup. Gotta try to control this right-hand side. I've seen more people control this right-hand side, so it's very interesting that the right-hand side here is being held. Not very many people inside the base itself, so if an infantry does push into the base, it's going to be hard-pressed to hold it with what you got inside there right now. We did see a lot of cavalry be deployed by both sides. I think more effectiveness coming out from MGK. 2 Cataphrax, 1 Tundra Human right now on the field. Did did have another Tundra human, but not sure. Oh, no. There we go. 2 Tundra humans. Look like they've been swapped out. One has been swapped out at the very least. But lots of Medaos as well. So definitely MugoonKingdom going to go with a Medao approach. It's really good to go with the Medao approach in this scenario. Going to be the only thing you're really fearful when you're winning is a cavalry complete wipeout. So going in strong with the Medaos here now would definitely make them win up. Going through that south gate even. South gate, not very many things going to stop them as they just pour on through. Also on the left-hand side here, we got some Prefecture Pikemen. Iron Reapers charge into the center there, not even braced, so they cut down quite a bit. Oh, although they do get overwhelmed by Iron Reapers of their own. Tundra Humans just comes in swinging, sweeps out nearly everything remaining. MugoonKingdom does a clean victory here, not very hard at all. DQS probably low on numbers there, definitely low on quality, but the savagery of MugoonKingdom just slaughtering the enemy. Only 1 pike left, and he does die. MugoonKingdom takes the second battle for Hidden City, and that is all for the Mugoon versus DQS. So MugoonKingdom wins 2-0. DQS still has a shot to come back for another round in the losers bracket. So we'll get to see who they're facing once we get to the next set of battles. I'm not sure when the next set of battles is going to start. Probably going to see them. Probably see them in about 14 minutes. Classically, the start time is 9 o'clock. So we have MTA versus Ace coming up. Avengers versus Hellfire soon. But it's also very interesting to note that it's also on Hidden City. I'm very interested to see more of it. MugoonKingdom coming out pretty big for the most part. Again, the heroes not getting very many kills. Lots of deaths though, so DQS definitely coming up short against MugoonKingdom. MugoonKingdom definitely coming in fast, coming in hard, and going in very decisively. Every battle they've faced has been a decisive victory so far, and a lot of times it's because DQS has been a little bit lacking on some things. I think MugoonKingdom also is a great user of the distraction. They have a couple guys hitting them from different sides before the main push, and I think the main push works out in the end, mainly because they're very strong from the front. The left-hand side supply grab was also very interesting, as DQS did not seem to react when the supply was grabbed. I think they needed to do a little bit more scouting. Definitely needed to contend with MugoonKingdom. They were probably suspecting what I was suspecting was the artillery phase where MugoonKingdom just shoots out their units. But instead, they were caught on the back foot with a rapid push up towards that supply point. So that is very unfortunate. So a little bit more action, proactiveness coming out from DQS would be wonderful, and I do think need to shore up their hero killing potential along with their survivability. But nonetheless, their unit compositions it's not bad, but it doesn't seem to be working out. So MugoonKingdom definitely playing them like a fiddle in a lot of scenarios. Definitely able to make use of the units they have available. Bastion Wild Flames, we do see them around. Whether or not they're very effective, it's still hard to tell. Sometimes you can think that they're doing a lot of work, sometimes they're not. So I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. That's all I have really to say for the battle for MugoonKingdom versus DQS. So catch you in a minute. Catch you in 10. I'll be eating in the meantime, so hopefully that doesn't bother you guys. Sound is really low on the clean feed. I'm actually not sure how far behind I am. I'm looking at the Twitch one, and it's just like I'm completely out of sync. Like, I'm not a few seconds, I'm like an entire minute behind. More like 5 seconds now. Probably the longer it goes on, the clean feed probably just gets further and further away. That's fine. I'm more afraid if it breaks. I'm interested that there's no balance changes. It looks like there's not going to be no balance changes for the next few weeks, which is kind of weird, which is not very good. With no balance changes coming tomorrow, nothing interesting is going to happen. I mean, they did do a bow change, so I wanted them to do more unit stuff. My final verdict on the Varangian Guards just ends up being very controversial. Not controversial, sorry. I think everyone understood it the moment they tried it. But it's just, their their unbreakable skill makes them incredibly tanky. And I mean like incredibly tanky. That's like 90% damage resistance. But what's the point of being tanky if you don't exactly, like, you're good for stalling, that's one thing, but man, it always just comes back to Zerkers. I was facing Zerkers today with my Varangian Guards, and I'll be honest, my Varangian Guards got stomped into the ground. I mean, I would win, it just wasn't great. I mean, I'll tell you honestly, I lost almost half my Varangians for one Berserker. It's a hard-fought victory. It's not easy for the Varangians to beat out the Berserkers, and that's sad. That's really sad. Really shows you that their damage output's really low. They can't survive the berserkers, so you have to give them that benefit. Lots of health. Berserkers have high penetration and high damage. Well, high penetration. Really, it's still only around about the 1800 mark. Oh, they have title cards. Well, the guys now. Seen AB before, but I've. Berserker's skill 2 is so smooth compared to other units. Yeah, their whirlwind ability changes was so good. I thought, I mean, I'll be honest, before, when they had that massive lag for startup, and then ending lag when they just stood still for a little bit, I understood why no one wanted to use whirlwind. Oh, but it's so beautiful. Mwah. Now it's just straight on. And I love just spamming it as well. Especially other units, Shield Bash, which have damage delay because of long animation. Oh yeah, for sure. I think the best thing about the spinning slash is, I think this is something that they're testing out lately, is how the units position themselves. The spinning slash makes them move in a direction, kind of on a, how do you call it? On a tangent to their opponents, so they will slide across to be next to them, to be on the side of them, could get behind them as well. So it's really good to get them right into the enemy. And I think Shatter the Shields also uses something similar, as they slide across to be slide across into the enemy. So I'm pretty sure it's part of the skills. So where they charge into the enemy, but because the collisions will stop each other from overlapping, they instead start pivoting around it instead of just going straight at him. Oh, what's also funny is because Berserkers, so when you have the Frenzy trait, so if you go top line, when you trigger Warpath and that drops, so you have 10 stacks of Warpath and that drops off, you get a 2000 instant heal. I don't know why that happens, it's just a bug. But it's really funny. So what I like doing sometimes is that, like, when my Berserkers like have a lot of rage, but I can't be bothered raging because I don't want them to run off to attack the enemy. I just spam the whirlwind ability and let 3 times, and I let it drop, and I get a 2000 instant heal. It's a waste because it like uses up like 75 like half my bar to do it. Here we go though. Next set of battles here on Hidden City. This time we're getting Avengers versus Hellfire. Does look like Avengers are attacking first, so MTA. Whoa, that's a lot of tier 4. Claymores, Porter Brushers. The ASAPs are an interesting pick. I mean, like, no problem, Mezume. Hope you enjoy your dinner. I mean, I'm eating myself. It is that time. Should have eaten a little bit earlier. But about the battle, that's a lot of Fenris as well. Again, 7 Fenris out on the field. Gonna see if they're gonna be very, very effective. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Berserkers coming out for Avengers as well. That is crazy numbers of Berserkers and Fenris. So this is going to be interesting. Because Avengers... Oh, man. Avengers has more tier 4s, so they're going to have to make up the statistical difference. They're going to have to make up for the statistical difference for the tier 5s that are running around for the defenders here. We got a climb coming here on the left-hand side. Does look like more people here on the left-hand side concentrating. So, I mean, the left-hand side siege tower is much better than the right-hand one. The middle one I would never take. The left-hand one is okay. Actually, the left-hand one is trip bait as well. So that's also good. We have one mortar built, which is very interesting. The positioning of the Metallators are on the stairs here, so it's a really good spot. Not a terrible interesting trip at the back there. Not sure what they're hitting. Two guys did die, one for each side, and another guy dies. Another guy dies for the attackers here. Whoop, there goes the third person. Sending up the berserkers. Not gonna win here. Oh, man. Climbing up where there's enemies is really, realistically, a death sentence sometimes. What you probably want to do is destroy the crenellations. Have a range unit at the bottom. I used to do this with Pavis, actually. I'd have Pavis at the bottom of a ladder, shooting up towards those, shooting up towards the units up on the wall. Really effective, actually. Although I would have to sacrifice someone going up that wall, so there's always that part. Going up the ladders didn't work out for MTA, so gonna have to wait for something else. It'd be pretty impressive if a wall climb did work out and the enemy defending team was actually watching. Down goes the right-hand siege tower. All the siege towers did go down first time, so these are second-generation siege towers. Takes about a minute and a half for each siege tower to make it to the wall. 30-second respawn time. So I think they destroyed the siege towers a bit early here. So they'll start pushing the next set of siege towers at 7 minutes or so. Surprisingly enough, it does look like they have culverins in the back there. So where you see LE at the back. So Ace LE, so he's at the very far back on the right-hand side there. I'm not sure how many culverins he has, but 2 or 3 has been really the average. Sometimes you have up to 4. I think some guy had 4. So the trips keep coming. Oh, camping here has jumped off the wall. Gotta have to be careful. Whoa! Sending Moon Knight and Felix down onto the ground here. Camping not dead yet. No, but it will be. nothing's working out for MTA right now, but Ace's resources should be running low. And I mean pretty low right now. Still got the Metallic Doors still doing a lot of work. Metallic Doors should keep the left-hand siege tower down, which they've been focusing on a lot, but now they're positioned over to the middle siege towers. I really need to stop eating while I'm like commentating and stuff. Oh, but it will get cold. Alrighty. Right-hand siege tower is very low. It probably will go down, so they're gonna have to just go through the death sentence one. This is where it might be difficult, but I do believe that a good strategy could get them the win here. So, Ace could decide to either abandon the wall, or they could do a squeeze here. A squeeze is possible. Not entirely impossible for Ace. Ace concentrating all of the Metallitor fire onto that left-hand supply point. So the middle siege tower did make it to the wall. They got Halberdier Sergeants going towards the front here. It'll be about a minute 30 for that last siege tower to get up to the wall if they decide to push it now. Left-hand siege tower getting dangerously close. They're piling up, but no major battle has kicked off, and we're almost out of time here. Left-hand siege tower will go down yet again. Those Metallitors definitely being very effective at suppressing those siege towers. Can't really take them out since they're in the stairwell, so they're in an awkward angle. Halberdier Sergeants, not terribly difficult to get past, but one of the few units that have stun on brace, so never underestimate them. Another Treb, so probably gonna use all their resources to gain an advantage. The tower itself is actually protecting the Halberdier Sergeants. The Halberdier Sergeant did not take very much direct fire there, so they're still pretty strong. Major battle kicks off. So it's a little bit of a squeeze. I think they started the squeeze a bit too early. So I think the pile up for Avenger is working out much better. But here comes the squeeze now, which is actually working out really well. Iron Reapers there on the side. Looks like it's going to be victory for Ace here. Easily clapping. Oh my goodness. Easily clapping the... Easily clapping the attackers there in that scenario. Very upsetting to see that Avengers there loses out. I think that was difficult to... I think that was pretty difficult battle for the... Again, Death Sentence is never the one I would ever choose to go up to. It's kind of... the middle siege tower is... The middle siege tower is a literal death sentence because, like, the defenders are always in a scenario where some are on one side because they're closer to the point, and some are on the other side, which is closer to the supply point. So what you end up is a situation where you just always get squeezed. Here on the left-hand side, you have a little bit less of that, but they are already in position, and you're focusing and you're pushing up onto a hard task. Get up onto the weak side. Don't just sit there on that right-hand siege tower and wait. One of the most important thing is about discipline and waiting for the right opportunity. You're pushing in at the worst time. You want to keep those guys there. Don't move. They will stay there. The moment they move, you make a move. Because you can't afford to lose units for free there. You're losing units in a losing battle. You can't afford to keep them there because all you're doing is giving more time to your guys to get to the A point. But those guys are already at the A point. And look at those water rushers. Gets absolutely demolished by the backside there. And from the front side now. So the backside also getting ripped to pieces by someone in the rear. It's a tidal wave victory for the defenders, and it's mostly just because they're just massed up here. I don't think there was any scenario that any scenario where Ace wouldn't win, because 15 players just rocking from one siege tower to the other siege tower just instantly win. Preparation and the small skirmishes just not adequate coming out from the Avengers style. I think they really needed to focus on getting those siege towers up at the last moment. Again, it's just hard. They were suppressing the siege towers very much. Sometimes you gotta think about other strategies, but when it comes down to strategies like these, it's not the best, and you know it's not the best. So you gotta make the best out of it. The push up onto the siege tower ended up in a failure, and it was to be expected. You're trying to fight a battle where they will obviously squeeze you. So I love what someone did a while back is against MugoonKingdom. No, it was not against MugoonKingdom, but they had Palace Guards to tank the first initial Iron Reapers. So the initial Iron Reapers basically wasted all of their damage into this Palace Guard that was sitting just at the very edge. I think they sacrificed a Imperial Spear Guard as well to that. But they waited, or at least waited for some time before their Iron Reapers started going in. They had their medalls. They had the medalls just after the shield line. The Iron Reapers did take a little bit of damage, but it collapsed in on itself. They were pushing up onto the siege tower. They were pushing through those shields. They were pushing through the medalls. But when the Iron Reapers of the attackers came in, they were worn out. They've used up all of their time in Tiger's Guile. They charge. And all of a sudden, the enemy Iron Reapers just sweep right through the enemy, and it was just amazing. And that's what can happen sometimes, but it's just hard. It's hard. It's really hard. The enemy push, I think the defenders pushed too hard on the siege towers. You could have made use of that, but the only problem is that you try to push out onto the siege tower, and it didn't work. Too early, I would say. You're being suppressed. You need to resist the pressure. You need to slow down their squeeze. The moment their squeeze stops, you break their lines. But if the squeeze keeps happening, the more units you throw at it, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. When you compress something, it either collapses under its own weight, or it bounces back. And it bounces back with a lot of force. So what you want to do is have be like a spring. So you have the guys at the front take the damage, you have the guys just behind it ready to reinforce, and then you have the breaker at the behind, which was the Iron Reapers in the scenario I was talking about before, rip right through the enemy squeeze. And it's hard to pull off. High tense situation, running out of time, by the way. Only about 3 minutes when they actually started that push. So it's very difficult, I would say, in that scenario. Suppressing the siege towers fairly easily for the defenders here. What can I say, though? It's just, you need to think about your strategy when you can't get those siege towers up. I think teams in the CBL should have had enough practice in alternative attacking styles. The tried and true tested is not something that happens often, meaning that you'll get the siege towers up, you can attack them from different angles. So you gotta really sometimes outmaneuver your enemy. You gotta know your enemy better than yourself sometimes. But nonetheless, let's just wait here for the next battle to start. I am just gonna poke at my chicken here. Or I might get a plate. I'm gonna get a plate. Hate it when plates and things drip. That's why I lick off the sides for a bit. Also, I mean, like, I like my plates clean. That's just me. Man, I swear to God, someone's going to take a picture and use it out of context sometimes. Let's have a listen to what they're saying.
Hide sound like the gun is inside of city,
Yeah.
and it's just like it cannot be touched by any like
Yeah, and
artilleries and
the unit is so close to the supply point. So after using all the artillery, they all the shots
yeah.
has run out. They can just gather resupply really quick
Yeah.
and keep shooting at those siege towers. So
They're talking about the
for
Metallitor.
the,
Yeah.
the attacker,
One Metallitor
they
can
should
suppress
have
down a
noticed
siege
that,
tower.
so they
Very
should focus
very
more
difficult
on pushing forward
to
the
deal
other
with,
two siege
as
towers
supply points are
because,
close.
the gunners,
That is.
they're just, you cannot touch them. So you should dodge the damage and focus more on the other sides.
Yep.
Which is really funny because,
now
like,
the two teams
me personally, I don't think the back
inside
of
of
I don't think the
room.
Metallicors do
For
enough
the
damage
second
anymore.
round in Hidden City again, and this round Ace will be the attacker. So we all know it's hard to attack in the Hidden City, so let's see what they can do and show us as the attacker.
Yeah, if you just cannot push the siege towers in 3 rounds, that would be very dangerous for you to play the game.
The time is something.
Yeah, because like we mentioned, it's kind of impossible to climb up to the walls from ladders, because like all enemies, all opponents, all defenders, they will be pretty ready.
Well, I mean, ladders in general has just
everything
never
about
really
the
been
map,
a
so
great
it's kind of
option.
impossible
Everyone's
to
just
go to that way.
everyone just stands on the top of
And,
ladders
so
and
the game 2 is
kills
about to start.
Who won?
And, let's jump into
right now, Ace won their defense. So, Avengers failed their attack. We'll get to see another battle where we get to see MTA defend, and we have the Ace, otherwise Hellfire, attack, which is coming up right now. They had an interesting, like, set of units. It just didn't work out for them. I don't think they got very much battles. Again, lots of muskets. Crazy amount of muskets coming out. I'm always surprised to see how many muskets just they start out with. It also just means that the medium armor classes are kind of flexible. You can switch between them. We got enough on guard coming out. 2 Bastion Wild Flames for the attackers here in Ace. Yeah, MTA does seem to be an English house. I do think they are, actually. The only problem is that I can't remember if they're actually from the EU. That's the only problem. I think there's Avengers, Kebabs, and Jerked. Yeah. So those three teams are apparently all from EU. So these guys are from EU fighting here on the Asia Division tournament. So let's see how far they go. They still have another shot even if they lose here against Ace. I think one of the problems I would definitely say is ping. Ping is like a huge factor sometimes. Well, for me it is. I would say it's one of the better games for ping, but I would say that ping is still a major factor. Like when you're fighting against a player with like that basically has no ping versus you who has like myself, I have around about 200 ping when I'm playing Conqueror's Blade. I'm not sure how much you get from Europe. Surprisingly enough, I mean like you'd get less from Sandstone's Gorge, which is in the Middle East. So, trapping straight away the ballista on the right-hand side. I mean, as threatening as that ballista is, Would you really trap it? I mean, I'd focus on the cannons and the Hwatchers. They'll do the most damage to the siege towers, and pretty much one of the things you should really take out first, because the siege towers are really important, and with the existence of the Metallators being able to take them out, so counter Mettallator fire, I'm not sure if they're getting in, but it does look like the angle is good enough. Oh, it worked. They actually scared them off. It's going to be a hard battle for MTA. These guys have definitely clocked in their artillery. And also, here comes some mortars to suppress that, to suppress them even more on that supply point. Middle siege tower and the left-hand siege tower getting dangerously close at full health. That right-hand siege tower is the only one that's taken any significant amount of damage. Avengers does look like to abandon the wall. Does look like they're getting pelted at that supply point. Definitely not a great start. Although, not really very many losses coming in, but the grounds have been taken. So A will be taken very shortly. Giving up the wall for free here. Not very much of a fight. And it's first generation siege towers, so it's going to be a hard battle if they keep losing ground like this. So they're going to have to survive 10 odd minutes of getting shot at now. So if this goes on like I think it does, Ace will head over to start artillerying them. So maybe a bunch of ballistas, maybe Culverin. No, not Culverin. Maybe some mortars will be deployed. So we got some mortars, some ballistas. So this is the bad thing when you give up the wall. Lately I've been seeing anyway. When you give up the wall too early. They have 10 minutes and 50 seconds to just shoot you. As the attackers, you have about 30 artillery to use. They'd use some outside the wall, but ballistas just alone, 30 ballistas each have around about 15 shots or so. Can kill up to two. Can kill up to two. Ooh-wee. Can kill up to 2 units at a time. That is 15 times 15, which is what? 225? 225? Mm. Oh my goodness. Wow, they really did just give up B section. I mean, like, that was fast. Ace just swarmed right into that. Once they saw the gap, they just went straight in for it. That was happening in a blink of an eye. I don't even know what happened. I thought they were just going to get... I thought they would try to dodge more shots, but apparently... I mean... it's a move that I would make as well. Namely because getting shot at is no fun. The only problem is that you're losing ground as they're using artillery. Even if they don't use those artillery, it's working out. No, it's not impossible. Don't let that right-hand side supply point go, though. Well, I mean, man, this is... They're going to get pushed off here, so they're falling back onto the left-hand side. So, I mean, I don't know if these teams know something I don't, but apparently this right-hand side has always been in contest, so... People want this right-hand side more than they want the left-hand side. I always think that the left-hand side is stronger, or better. Like, I would choose the left-hand side. So both are mortaring each other, but I think Avengers don't have as much. I think they're losing their artillery, actually. Definitely got more artillery than the defenders right now, and the pressure is mounting as each artillery ground is being gained. And I mean a lot of ground. This could be bad, this could be good, because the more artillery, like, this is liberal use of artillery, and the Shield Maidens here is this could be a battle here for the supply point at Treb even. Using the house for cover, which is really good. You need to control your royal janissaries, my good man. Fortbrasher's discipline is great. I mean, not pushing up too far, but the royal janissaries really can't afford to lose any. I mean, no major battle has kicked off just yet, and we've just watched these guys. We've just got these guys mostly move around, and here comes a Treb at the back. 2 hits. The rest will hit the wall. So hopefully you get healed up by that longsword at the front there. But you've got a couple. Ah, that Shield Maiden turned around the wrong side. That's very unfortunate. Alrighty, that is a mortar shot dead center there. Do you give it up? What are you doing? What a rush is from that side, dude. Getting shot. Loses 2 more. Taking damage, though. The defending team is doing well position-wise, but it's just that the mortars are definitely changing the tide. You are severely wounded, you give up the supply point, and you're going to take a... Are you going to take a fight here or not? There's another Treb directly in your line. That's got to be painful. I don't know how many people walked into that, but that's a lot of damage just coming out onto that center line. Trying to push in, but I'm not sure what's knocking them down here. Imperial Pikewalk actually comes in. Narfan Guard's actually died. We've only got 1 Narfan Guard left. Wow, you're not doing very good for thing. We got some cavalry comes in through the supply point, actually wreaking havoc on that back line. Felix, my good man, keep going. Really good suppression by that Balconetti. But it's just not enough. 10 guys died for the defenders right now. Not very many died for Ace. Ace is looking very healthy. You need to come in. You need to come in swinging, my good man. They're about to go straight for that base point. The only things that remaining is a Madao and there's Metallic Those Metallic gets instantly reaped by Tundra humans, but comes in swinging indeed. We got Cataphracts coming. Oh my goodness. A stop and Imperial Pikewalk. That's very unfortunate. We got some Winged Hussars running around. Cleaves the Claymores in pieces. Lots of cavalry being deployed and lots of infantry as well. Another fight on the right-hand side is beginning. Mostly Fortbrasher is being pushed in forward. I don't know why you braced though, just to put them on attack. This is the bad scenario since you're not bracing for cavalry, you're bracing for death. Because most of the infantry will just ignore you. Most of the infantry will get into through your gaps, and that's what you don't want. Your Fortbrashers are really great on attack mode. So, the battle at the beginning did not work out very well. I thought they were more effective, but it doesn't look like, in terms of kill count, the defenders are losing out massively in a lot of exchanges. 7 minutes to go, and they're burning through units like crazy. Your cavalry is getting caught left, right, and center, and that's right on the tip of the pikes as well. A small pickup there on the side. I'm not sure if it's going to be big, but the infantry pile is going to come through. Imperial Pike walk onto... Yes! Walks right into that Imperial Pike walk. Avengers did really well trying to maintain the status quo, but once they started the engagement just fell really hard. Direct confrontation does not seem to be the strong point. direct confrontation does seem to be Ace's strong point, using those artilleries to soften up their enemies. And I think it's the artillery usage, the absolute liberal artillery usage right here, and it is golden. Some positions are amazing as well. 2 grape shots shooting right into this pile. If they get through any of those units, they get grape shotted straight in the face. And there we go. 2 battles, 2 victories for Ace. That is very unfortunate for Avengers here. Avengers, I'm sorry that you're... That's gotta be brutal, man. You lost a lot of ground. You gave... like, Ace picked up ground, a lot of ground, really easily. Whether or not you should have fought, still to be seen. I do think that you took that losing battle there on the right hand, side. Taking that losing, like, it ended up in a loss. It might have not been losing. You just took too much damage before you started the engagement. And realistically, I think what happened there was that not Avengers. I think Hellfire definitely playing you, because they have no quorums. Well, no. They won't fight you. They won't fight you unless you come to them. And that's really important, because they wanted you to overextend. And that's the thing. Avengers, it was good that every time that they used artillery, that they gave a little bit of ground. You gave a little bit of ground. It means that artillery is mostly useless. But if you try to take that ground back, that artillery is still there. Again, one of the more interesting matches on a high level. It's a strategic. It's like a strategic. It's like a strategic hell. You either take the fight against the artillery and lose some guys to the artillery, so you're already losing. You give up the ground, so you lose some ground. In the end, when push comes to shove, you just couldn't deal with that confrontation in a scenario where you're attacking and trying to suppress the attackers. So the attackers are solidifying their ground, they fortified, and you're attacking that fortified position. That fortified position is going to be deadly, and you really need to wreck it apart, but you can't, because a lot of your units were hit, they were damaged. And I mean, lots of medals as well. Cavalry, for what it's worth, works against other infantry, just not too much against medal. You have to really overwhelm them. 2 or 3 cavalry charges would just decimate a medal, and in the end, I chalk it up to like, again, picking a bad pick for a fight. So if I was to do a fight there, I would have done it earlier, because the best time because that's the thing. They were really close to that supply point at one stage, and you were in a great position, but they didn't take that supply point yet, because they knew the moment they passed that position and get onto the supply point, you would have hammered them. But so they mortared you. That is really good. It shows the preparation Ace is willing to go through to get you out of position. And once you gave up that position, you had to give it up wholesale, because there was no way you could get in back to position without taking massive losses, and that was seen by a amazing Treb that decimated one of your squads. I'm not sure which squad decimated you, but definitely came in really hard on one of your squads, and it was shown that your infantry push was really weak. Oh man, there's a lot to learn from that battle, and I think people should watch this battle, because it is very interesting to see the moves you both make. Because although the failure here comes from Avenger, I do think that on a high level, you were doing amazingly well at coping with the pressure that Ace was dealing. It's just really hard to face a situation, where they have more artillery, and that artillery you need to get rid of or somehow overcome. Very difficult to deal with that. But nonetheless, that is all for tonight. We do have another set of battle tomorrow night. Tomorrow night on Thursday, we have Nope versus Pleb, followed by ECL versus GNG. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. But other than that, my name's Azukai. Have a nice day. Bye for now. I'm going to finish my check-in as well.